Assalamualaikum, everyone.
Salam, Prof.
I'm sorry, I have a bit of technical difficulties here. My video is on, but I don't seem to see myself on the video. Perhaps if the secretariat can help.
Prof, I think the camera is showing your fan, Prof. Prof, can you hear my voice?
Okay, Assalamualaikum, everyone. We have now 24 participants. I believe we may have some participants trickling in. We just finished our parallel sessions. So I would like to welcome all of you to this session of the seminar. But first of all, I would like to welcome our very respected and honorable guest speaker. And I would also like to introduce our guest speaker for this session. For this session, our guest speaker is none other than Professor Emeritus Dato Wira, Dr. Jamil Osman. He is no stranger to IIUM. He has been with us for a very long time. But for now, he is the right now he is the advisor and the director for regional cooperation, IT, or the International Institute of Islamic Thought for Southeast Asia, for East and Southeast Asia, KL. Dato Jamil has had a very distinguished career. He was our former Deputy Rector of Academic Affairs at IIUM, and he was also the former Rector of International Islamic University of Sultan Abdul Halim Muazzam Shah, or UNISHAMS in Kedah in Malaysia. Let me just say a few things about our respected Prof. Emeritus Dato Jamil. Prof. Dr. Jamil, to make it short, he was a professor in economics and statistics at IIUM from 1983 to 2008. And later he was the rector and CEO of International Islamic University of Sultan Abdul Halim Muazzam Shah in Kedah from 2008 to 2013. Prior to working at UNISHAMS, he served as the Dean of Admissions and Records from 1989 until 1999, the Deputy Rector of Academic Affairs in IIUM from 1999 to 2003, and also the IIUM Dean of Kuliah of Economics and Management Sciences from 2006 to 2008. Datuk Jamil was also the founding member of the Kuliah of Economics, IIUM, in 1983, and was the first Deputy Dean of the Kuliah. Datuk Jamil has received many awards, among which was the High Dignitary and Peaceful Coexistence Gold Medal Award from the Royal Palace of the Kingdom of Cambodia in 2015. He also got a gold medal from International Gold Medal Award from Islamic Countries Society of Statistical Sciences in Doha, in Qatar in 2012, and the Gold Medal Award from the Prime Minister of the Kingdom of Cambodia in 2012 as well. So Dato Jamil has had a very, very vast experience both as an academic and an administrator at higher learning institutions. And with his vast experience, there is a lot that we can learn from this and also from his wisdom. So I would like to invite Dato Jamil to present his talk on developing and managing programs on integration of knowledge at Islamic higher institutions. Welcome, Dato Jamil.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Sorry, I have interruptions here.
Assalamualaikum, Secretariat. Are we having
Yes, Salam.
The sound?
Prof, yeah, one of the it is done.
I'm turning off on two speakers. It sound okay, Dr. Ratna?
Yes, it is sound better and clear.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you very much, Professor Ratnawati, for introducing me such a great things. Professors, scholars, and all the participants in this international program of International Conference of Education on Integration of Knowledge in Institute of Higher Education. I've been given the task to talk about developing and managing programs on integration of knowledge at higher institutions. This is based on my experience at IUM, has been mentioned by Dr. Ratna. I was contributing a little bit on the development of curriculum and other things during the early stage of the development of International Islamic University in Malaysia in 1983. And after my retirement, 2008, I was given a task to transform one full-fledged Islamic university in the state of Kedah to become a fully integrated international Islamic university. So with this little bit of experience, which I may share with you, sorry. Not moving. Yeah. What it means by a full-fledged integrated Islamic university. So IUM has been the first fully integrated model of education in Malaysia. In fact, among the few in the Muslim world. So during the early stage of the development of IUM, it has been all fully integrated. The university started with two faculties, Faculty of Laws and Faculty of Economics. There was no management, there was no other program. Economic has been one of the earliest program being established at IUM. So all the subjects are supposed to be taught in the university based on integration of knowledge. So we have been given the task to develop in the program. Of course, the factors involved in developing and managing the program on integration of knowledge is not something that easy. IUM has been the agenda of the government. We got the full support of the leadership. At that time, the president of International Islamic University was the former Prime Minister of Malaysia, Tun Hussein On. Must make us easier because the link between the president and the Ministry of Education and even with the Ministry of Finance and the Prime Minister's office. The rector was initially, the acting rector was Professor Arifin Swami, and then was taken over by Professor Dato Abdul Rauf, a well-known figure in the Muslim world. And we have the board of directors at that time consisting of the ambassadors from 8 Muslim countries. So the leadership, in terms of leadership, we don't have any problem. I think we leave this one alone for the IUM, since we don't have much problem. The second part of it is human resource. How can we search for the qualified teaching staff? It doesn't mean Malaysia and the Muslim world doesn't have the qualified teaching staff. Qualified in the sense that people who understand Islamic knowledge at the same time understand the conventional knowledge, or people in the conventional knowledge can understand the Islamic knowledge. So then only the integration of knowledge can happen. So it was very difficult at that time. Of course, we have to search for the people who have the interest in doing this kind of thing. And then when we got the people, about 8 of us at that time, so we started with the curriculum development. To develop the curriculum, there was no model, except that in International Islamic University in Islamabad has some kind of experience, 1-year experience. But we also want to put in our ideas into that. So what we did, we took some program at conventional university and try to modify it. And then come to the stage of student admission. What kind of student would be required to produce certain kind of quality of student that graduated from the university? That's the third part. The fourth part is, since the university is adopting the language, English as the medium of instruction, then we need to find the right people who can understand English. So especially when we have students coming from various countries where the medium of instruction in school were not English. So to fulfill that language requirement, perhaps they need to go to a certain level of teaching of English. But we have to start immediately since we have a very small number of students. And the other part is Islamic knowledge and moral character of the student is also important. To produce a graduate from Islamic university per se, we need to have a student who have a very good moral character, with some Islamic knowledge. This is also difficult. People who come from Islamic university, Islamic schools, for example, they have the Islamic knowledge, but they have less technical knowledge like mathematics, science, and so on. The moral character will normally be judged based on our interview of the students. As far as budget is concerned, we do not have much problem, as I said, because we are being, IUM has been the project of the government. On curriculum development, the aim, first the curriculum development, the aims and objective of IUM. The university ultimate aim was to produce well-rounded professionals imbued with Islamic values and ethics who would develop Muslim Ummah and achieve progress that is in harmony with Islamic ideals. That was the main objective of the university. And to achieve the stated objective, IUM adopts a unified philosophy of education approach of integration and Islamization of knowledge. This is the agenda of our seminar from yesterday until today. So what is IUM model for integration Islamization? So the curriculum, the objective of the curriculum is an integrated curriculum structure, so that we can develop this, 1, the skills, 1, the knowledge, and 3, the personality, which is not easy. The conventional university in the US or in the Western countries, they do not care so much about the personality. So perhaps they care more on the skills and knowledge, but we are covering all this. So we gave the student two aspects of knowledge. One, religious knowledge. The other one is modern knowledge. So we provide religious sciences knowledge, Quran and Sunnah, Tawheed, Islamic worldview, and the Arabic language we made compulsory to all the students. And on the modern sciences language, knowledge, we provide all the modern, social, natural, and all the technical knowledge related to the discipline. Of course, during the early stage, we have economics. The modern sciences are based on the economic programs. So the curriculum structure, objective and methods. The method of modern sciences, this is how we teach the student. Human, social, natural, applied, and technological sciences. We have as usual, the formal classroom for the modern sciences knowledge. We have formal classroom emphasis on knowledge and courses on modern sciences. And we have also the non-formal emphasis on the amal, practical training. We have industrial attachment, group study circle, weekend retreats, and so on. So these are the approach that had been done normally in other universities as well. But for the religious sciences, we have the formal classroom structure, emphasis on knowledge, and courses on religious sciences, religious concept, and in other courses. At the non-formal, we have a kind of a group study circle, weekend retreat, usra, halakha, and so on. So this is being emphasized for the Islamic courses. This is something that extra as compared to other conventional universities. So we started to develop the curriculum for Bachelor of Economics. First, we have to ensure that in developing this curriculum, I choose economics, although the organizer requested for business and finance, because at that time there was no business program yet, and Islamic economic was one of the most established discipline in social sciences. So the format is that when we teach the Bachelor of Economics student, every course is presented from Islamic perspective, and Western economic theories will be presented and then critically analyzed from the Islamic viewpoint. This is number one. Number two, the program generally adopts a comparative approach. We make comparison between Western economics theories and the Islamic approach to that, by bringing some Islamic values into the theories. Number three, the program hopes to devalue economic concept from all alien matters, alien values, and infuse Islamic values where possible. The program has a certain core subjects in Aqidah, Sharia, Akhlaq, Fiqh, Usul Fiqh, and so on. And the Arabic language is central to the objective of the program. So although we cannot give a very high level of Arabic, but some Arabic knowledge will be given to all the students for 4 semesters at that time. After a strong foundation in Islamic perspective in economics, the 4th year normally is the courses more on the technical. So the 4th year courses are more conventional in nature, and of course less Islamization in the 4th year. And 7, to ensure the correct understanding, a limited number of options are required because we do not have the number of required staff to teach in all disciplines. So we make sure that the choice of the courses will be restricted at that time. Okay, we expect that the student who graduated from our kuliah in 1987, there was the first batch of students who graduated. They might have some elements or some content of about 5 or 10% content of Islamization of knowledge in the subject. We hope that as the time goes on, for 10 to 20 years, the Islamization of the subject will be more and more. That's our hope. So of course, we are now almost 35 years, I think, the establishment of university. So we might not have, we do not have much problem in terms of Islamization in the area of economics. So the student would have a double major or double specialization. Double major student will be required to take more courses in Islamic economics from the department. And this double degree concept only was introduced in 1990, when Dr. Abdul Hamid Abu Sulaiman came in to establish Bachelor of Islamic Living Knowledge and Human Sciences, where the student of Bachelor of Economics can also have the second degree in Islamic Living Knowledge and Human Sciences. So those are the plan of Bachelor of Economics from the early stage until now. So similar approaches are done in the Kuliah of Economics and Management for Bachelor of Business Administration and Bachelor of Accounting. After 1985, when the Bachelor of Business Administration was introduced, we introduced the same approach. On human resource, as I was mentioning to you, we are lack of qualified people who can teach Islamic economics in the country. So the Kuliah of Economics started the program with Bachelor of Economics at the UM intake with only 75 students and 8 teaching staff, 2 with PhD in conventional economics, 1 with PhD in Sharia, 4 with Masters in conventional, and 1 with Bachelor in conventional. So these are the first batch of staff that been taken into the Kuliah. So what they did is interview were conducted in order to get candidates who met the academic, religious, and good moral values. Of course, it is difficult. You get a 4.3.8, 3.9 student coming from the US, they might not have the knowledge on Sharia or Islam. And those who come back from Azhar do not have the knowledge in economics. So this is a difficulty that we are facing. So what we did is that we start organizing workshop on teaching Islamic economics. This is done almost every week. Every Saturday, we sat down, and the lecturer who is supposed to be teaching Islamic economics will come and present it to us. And we have one lecturer who's a graduate from Azhar. He will give the input on the Islamic input on Sharia and so on. And then wherever possible, we have team teaching. We can share. We can't afford to prepare the notes for the class 3 hours a week. Then we do the sharing. And we organize national and international seminars and conferences on Islamic economics. So at that time, most of the conferences were conducted at IUM, and scholars in economics from all over the world will come and gather in Kuala Lumpur. And the fourth one is invited some international scholars to guide us in understanding deeper knowledge in various areas in economics. So they come for 1 week, 2 weeks, and so on. So we have almost everyday discussion with them on certain topic, and started recruiting new staff and send them to do their masters and PhD. Of course, difficult to find universities in the Muslim world that offer masters or PhD in Islamic economics, except again in Islamabad. So we managed to send 1 student to Islamabad, the rest we have to send to the US and some to some Arab countries. So this is the process that we did in human resource, and the process grows like this until now. Teaching materials. The early stage of the development, reading and teaching materials were very limited. What we did, we started to collect and compile articles, conferences, conference papers, research papers, theses, books related to Islamic economics, and place them in the university library for reference. So it's not as easy as that to access to all these kind of material through the internet at that time. So Alhamdulillah, nowadays with the advance of the information technology, students and lecturers are able to access to all kind of teaching and reading material fast and efficient. However, we still lack of textbook for various subjects. Textbook is very important, especially for the lecturers and for the students who are taking the courses. IUM, with the support of IIT, are able to are developing textbook in various disciplines to be made available on hard copy and online with a reasonable price. So currently, at least 100 books are in the pipeline. Inshallah, more will be coming from year to year, inshallah. So this is with the support of IIT to give the project to all the lecturers in IUM and other universities that offer program on integration of knowledge. Admitting student. Of course, as I told you, admitting student is also difficult because to meet the requirement of IUM at that time, what the kind of student that we are going to produce. We not only select students with very good grade in high school certificate, but we look for the student with good religious background, good in English, and if possible, some Arabic, good in moral values as well. So this is which is not easy to find candidate who came from Malaysia or overseas who met all the given criteria. The reason is that our system of education, there is a dichotomy in the system of education. Either the student, they go to the pure religious school, madrasa, or go to conventional education, is government school. So the medium of instruction is no more English in all the most of the countries in Indonesia, Malaysia, or Thailand. English and Arabic. Arabic may be some student who come from religious school, and difficult to judge moral values unless we conduct face-to-face interview. We can have some knowledge of them. So for Malaysian candidate, normally we have a face-to-face interview because the intakes for IUM was not many. And then language requirement. All admitted students were given the test for English and Arabic. Students who did not meet the minimum score will be required to register for a special English or Arabic class for 1 or 2 semesters. So normally this is to make us become less popular. If they go to other local universities, they can graduate within 4 years or 5 years. And when they come here, they have to graduate 1 additional year. So for those who are really interested in Islamic knowledge, they will come to IUM. So Islamic knowledge and moral character. The early stage of development, as I told you, difficult to get candidate who had high school certificate in Islamic knowledge. Students from religious school who have the religious certificate may not have that technical knowledge. They don't take mathematics or science or accounting or economics. And students who come from conventional school, they may take some courses in Islamic studies, 1 or 2 subjects, which is not sufficient. So the moral character, normally, as I told you, can be judged only if candidates were interviewed. For overseas candidate, may be very difficult to interview. So sometimes we use our representative or religious leaders in the area they came from to provide recommendation. So through tripartite representative in various countries, of course, for China, it is a big country. For those who are coming from China, and our representative is in Hong Kong. It's not easy for him to travel to the mainland to interview everybody. Same thing from the bigger continent like India and Pakistan. So this is also something not easy to handle. Now, after 25 years, I retired in 2008 and 2006 and 2008, and then after that I was given the task by the state government to transform a traditional Islamic university to a full-fledged integrated Islamic university. This is, as had been mentioned by Professor Ratna, International Islamic University of Sultan Abdul Halim Muazzam Shah in the state of Kedah. At that time, the name was Insaniah University College in Kedah. So Dr. Abdul Hamid Abu Sulaiman, the former rector, told me, Brother Jamil, you go there. You did whatever as what we have done at IUM. So I thought it's as easy as that to go there and duplicate whatever that I have done at IUM. I was the Dean of Admissions at that time, handling the academic matters, and also I was the Deputy Rector of Academic Affairs, was handling academic matters. So to transform a traditional Islamic university, which is fully in Arabic, this university was fully conducted in Arabic, where all the lecturers came from Azhar University. And of course, that's what you have seen, any graduate from Azhar University, that is the model of that university. Now I'm required to implement a full-fledged and integrated Islamic into university. So this is the challenge. So I accepted it. So Insaniah was transformed from a pure religious university college to full-fledged integrated university. And I was there for 5 years. The first 2 years we managed to transform, to establish at least 47 programs, from 4 programs to 47 programs. Start admitting students from all over the world, like what we did at IUM. And of course, the language we changed from Malay to English, and Arabic retained to be there, because for those who are taking courses using Azhar's certificate or degree, we remain to be there. And not much can be changed for Azhar program, because the number of hours already too big. They are not willing to sacrifice. This is the challenge. Not much integration will be done for the program in grad from Azhar University. So what we did is that students who graduated with Sharia, with Usuluddin, with Arabic language, they can have the master's degree in Islamic finance, in Islamic counseling, and other related programs at master's level. So that's the best that we can do for the graduate in Islamic studies. And the rest, students who are taking the conventional program will be fully integrated. So the integration taking place from there on until now. And UNISHAM or International Islamic University of Sultan Abdul Halim Muazzam Shah, has become a full-fledged integrated international Islamic university. And we set 47 programs from bachelor's to master's level. The only difference from IUM is that I cannot duplicate everything what we have in IUM. They have, of course, medical faculty was taken from IUM, and with the help of Professor Daud Adabi in Yaman. Before the program was started, I went to Yaman to get the help of Yaman from University of Science and Technology Yaman, UST. And for the Kuliah of Multimedia, which is something new, we got it from Kuliah of Multimedia and Creativity. We got it from Lingkok Wing, the curriculum, and we Islamized it. And the Islamic Hospitality and Halal Services, at that time, IUM doesn't have this program, and we have to do on our own. We took it from UUM and modified it. The rest are quite similar to what we have over here. So this is, as I told you, less. Some are less problem. Like medical, we adopt totally the program, the curriculum that has been set up by IUM and approved by the Ministry of Education. So the issues, again, as I told you, the issue, curriculum development, textbook, teaching material, language, students, Islamic knowledge and moral character of the student. Leadership, approval for the chairman, curriculum, much easier for Insaniah University College because we adopted most of the curriculum that has been established in IUM with some modification. Human resource, as I expect, it will be much easier, but unfortunately it's not easier because the university already have the staff there. The staff which graduated from UUM, from other conventional universities. They do not have much exposure to Islamization of knowledge. So we have to do the new recruitment, we have to do the training for the current staff, and so on. Teaching material, as I told you, we do not have much teaching material in 2008, but now we are beginning to have it. So it is important, as I told you, teaching material is very important for a university, for lecturers and students in a new university. For IUM, you may find it no problem because you already have the lecture note for 35 years. You can refer to your seniors, those who have been teaching the courses. But for even the student can get the note from the seniors. But for the new university, teaching material is very important. The problem, it goes back like what we had the problem during the early stage of the development of IUM. And then after that, after UNISAM, we have more universities in the country has been developed. College University Islam Antarabangsa Selangor is well established in Islamization of knowledge, alhamdulillah. And we have University Science Islam Malaysia in Nilai, also very well established in integration of knowledge, and many others where they might not be fully integrated, but they have a program on integration of knowledge, alhamdulillah. What is the role of tripartite in the educational reform in the Muslim countries? Tripartite is a privately held non-profit organization based in the US. This is Dr. Hisham Atalib, professor in education and in engineering. He is currently the president of Tripartite in the US. Tripartite concerned with the general issues of Islamic thought and education and focus on integration and Islamization of knowledge. So much has been done by Tripartite in all the Muslim countries, not only in Malaysia, to establish the Islamization of knowledge program. Who is who in Tripartite? These are among the leaders, the scholars and thinkers in Tripartite. We have our former rector, Dr. Abdul Hamid Abu Sulaiman, Professor Ismail Faruqi, Dr. Jamal Bazanji, the former dean of the Kuliah of Islamic Arabic Knowledge and Human Sciences, and Professor Jabbar Taha Jabir Awani. And currently we have the Anwar Ibrahim, the former Prime Minister, Deputy Prime Minister of Malaysia. He is the Emeritus Chairman of Tripartite, and Professor Hisham is currently the President, Dr. Ahmad Tutonji, and Professor Hassan Kasuli. So these are among the leading figures in tripartite in the past and currently. Some of the projects, activities tripartite, we have done translation of books. We conduct conferences, seminar, and workshop on Islamization and integration of knowledge. Some we are organized on our own, some being organized by other institutions where we provide the funding. And then curriculum reform and textbook writing is what has been done at IUM now. And provide research fund on various disciplines, publication of books on various disciplines in English, Arabic, Malay, etc. Human resource development by providing scholarship and grants. So the textbook project in Malaysia, we have with IUM, with ISDEF in USM, with Quiz in Selangor, UNISAM in Kedah, UIM in Sabah Jaya before, MOU with all the universities in the Muslim countries, Patani University in Philippines, IIS, University of Philippines, and many universities in Indonesia as well. So Tripartite has published at least 500 titles of books on Islamization of knowledge, which you can have it online or on hard copy. If you need, you can request from the Tripartite office in various countries. In Malaysia, we have in Indonesia as well. So we provide scholarship for bachelor's, master's, and PhD. Field of specialization must be field of Islamization of knowledge, and university that offer program on Islamization of knowledge. So these are some of the activities being done by Tripartite. So alhamdulillah, in my 25 years experience in IUM and 5 years experience at Insana University College, now UNISAM, has been a great asset for me. So thank you very much. We hope that you all can learn from here. And inshallah, if you are being given the task to develop a program or to develop a new university, you could see these are some of the problems you might be facing, which is not as easy as that. But at least you know where to refer to. IUM is one of the leading university in integration of knowledge. At any time, you can come and meet the relevant people at IUM in various disciplines. So with that, thank you very much. Thank you for listening to my sharing. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, Dr. Ratna.
Thank you very much, Professor Dato Wira, Dr. Jamil. It's a great honor for us to have you share with us your vast experience, and we are humbled by the fact that your experience has been so vast in this area. May Allah bless your efforts. In fact, one of the participants has also expressed that congratulating you and invoking or asking for Allah's blessings on your efforts. So thank you very much, Dato Jamil. Now we would like to open the floor to any kind of questions from our participants. We know that you must have many questions to ask. You might be wondering how we could perhaps conduct programs, start programs at our own institutions, and some of our colleagues may in fact be thinking of this. So I open the floor to questions and comments.
The participants are well versed in this now. They don't need to question. Maybe they're tired. This is almost lunchtime.
Yeah, there's still a lot to learn, Dato.
They've been 4 to 5 hours today.
Okay, do we have any questions from the audience?
You can look at the chat.
In fact, Dr. Jamil has also shared with us his slides. Inshallah, we will share it with participants if that's all right, Dr. Jamil.
Yeah, I can give that. organizer. Yeah.
So this, Dato has shared, a lot of the practical aspects of running the programs, challenges, challenges that were experienced during the implementation of the programs. And perhaps if I may ask a question, Dato Jamil?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. What would you say is, having been there, done that, um, and seeing many more universities, implementing Islamization of knowledge and also integration of knowledge. Uh, how would you say, where we are in this? Are we making good progress towards the integration of knowledge? Do you think? I mean, now it has been more than perhaps 25 years since we first started, or more than that. What are your own personal thoughts on that?
As I told you, the leadership of the university is very important. For Malaysia, it should not be any problem because we already have the model. We have the model of IUM, we have University Science Islam Malaysia, which is under the government, and we have College University Antarabangsa Selangor Quiz, and in various states they also have a similar college or university colleges in this nature. It will not be difficult in terms of leadership unless the rector of that university is inclined, so they can persuade the higher authority. Okay, you can see the model. The model is IUM, so I don't think they will oppose it. But for some big universities, well-established university like UITM, which is having about 30 to 40,000 students, to implement the Islamization of knowledge program, which is not easy. At one time, the Vice Chancellor of the university would like to introduce only one course on Islamic economics. And they have only a few lecturers there who graduated with master's degree from IUM. One of them is a Hindu. And they can't afford it because there are 5,000 students who are taking compulsory course in economic who like to register for Islamic economics. So which is not that easy. So unless they go for the approach, the first year developing an Islamic program, for example, Islamic economic program, and take student gradually, 50, 100 per year, and start recruiting students. And on, it will not be affecting other students in the whole university. That is number one. Number two, as I told you, the inclination of the leaders as well. And the Vice Chancellor will be there for 5 years, the most 6 years. And then they don't want to take the challenge, all this kind of thing, because they are also not a graduate from based on the integration of knowledge, unless we have graduate from IUM who become director or the Vice Chancellor of that university. I remember my former dean, Said Osman, was the president of UNITA, but he cannot do much. Maybe the leadership as well. What they are interested is making the university to make money. The same thing in Indonesia. I have visited various universities where most of the professors say that, okay, I don't think we need Islamization because we already teach Islamic courses. Because to them, they might not understand the concept of Islamization per se. This is the experience that I give a talk in some big universities in Indonesia. I don't have to mention name. But the Islamization is taking place at University Islam Negeri in Indonesia, UIN. Much easier because the people are interested into that. What they need to recruit more conventional staff who can learn about Islam. That's all. So much easier. So that's why you could not see much development in Malaysia for the public universities in Malaysia to offer a program related to Islamization of knowledge. They say, okay, you want to study Islamization of knowledge? You go to UAE, you go to USIM, you go to quiz, you go to Unisam. Over here, we teach you conventional because they believe in it. This is my feeling, Dr. Rana.
Right, thank you very much, Dr. Jamil. Really, I think we have benefited from the sharing of your experience. Okay, in case there are any participants that somehow has got that question that was that was not asked before. Anyone with questions? Okay, all right. Thank you so much. Oh, salam. Okay, we have a question.
Do you hear me?
Yes, we hear you.
Okay. I am Arafat Karim. I am having PhD in Fiqh and Usul Fiqh. Thank you so much, Prof, for your great presentation. My question is, while talking about fully fledged integrated university, curriculum development is very, very important according to you. So currently our universities curriculum in terms of each and every section and department can be considered as a integrated based curriculum holistically. That is my question. Prof, can you explain?
You are initiating a department or a program? Yeah? Program, yeah. If you initiate a program, yes, it can be integrated program in the university. I give you an example of University Alanga in Indonesia. In 2002, I think when we went to the university, I managed to see the director of the university. He was very inclined to use the IUM model, but unfortunately, they do not have enough people. So what I told you, at that time I was the dean of the kuliah. I told him you can send some senior staff of the university for 3 months to IUM to attend the classes taught by our lecturers, especially based on Islamization. And at the same time, I can give you the task to teach some of our students. Then you test your knowledge. If you are confident, you go back. So he came back here.
Thank you so much, Prof. I mean, yes, currently our IIM University's whole curriculum structure is based on integrated system or integrated knowledge system.
Yeah.
Can we claim this kind of?
Yes. Yeah, fully integrated. Yeah. Of course, there are some subjects cannot be integrated. We are teaching mathematics, we are teaching. But now before that, we thought that accounting was fully. We classify the courses into three. One is value loaded courses like economics, conventional economics. Value free courses like mathematics, statistics, and so on. And then some fully Islamic courses. The Islamic courses, we do not have much Islamization, except that when they teach Sharia, for example, they bring in the value. They touch also on economic, how Sharia is applied in economic. They talk about maqasid Sharia related to Islamic banking and finance and so on. But for mathematics, accounting at that time, or computer science, we do not expect very much. But now, alhamdulillah, in our kuliah, accounting, we are teaching accounting from Islamic perspective. One professor in IT taught information technology on Islamic perspective. Okay, bring in the ethical values in statistical thinking. You become a statistician. You must have some ethical values, not cheating with data and this kind of thing. So which is not fully value free anymore. Okay, even we do our research using statistics. You must make sure you have some ethics. Research methodology. We have the Islamic research methodology where the ethical values are very important. A lot of masters and PhD students normally, they can easily cheat the data. manipulate the data in such a way that to get the results as required by professors. This is unethical. This should be taught when they take the research methodology courses or they take any statistic courses.
Thank you so much, Prof, for your explanation. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for the question. All right, we have time for one more question. If there are questions anymore. Okay, thank you so much, Dato Jamil. We have benefited from your talk, and we wish and we hope that we could hear more of it. However, now it is almost lunchtime, and because of this, although we are all here attending it virtually, we would like to invite everyone to lunch wherever we may be, inshallah. Thank you very much, Dato.
Thank you, Prof. Thank you very much.
Assalamualaikum.
Wassalam.
Thank you, Prof. Ratna. Thank you, Prof. Jamil, for this session. So to all participants, you may go for lunch now. And please return to this session for the parallel session starting at 2 p.m. until 3 p.m. And please join the assigned room to you. There will be two rooms, room 1 and room 2. So see you guys back at 2 p.m. Thank you, everyone. Have a good lunch.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Assalamualaikum.